What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Baby Jonathan. I got a very special guest, first time guest on Laker Talk with Big Baby Jonathan. Introduce yourself, man.
What's up, Laker Nation? This is Wardell, my homie right here, Big Baby Jonathan. Shout out, happy birthday.
Appreciate it, bro. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Lakers' disappointing loss, and let's get into it. So, Wardell, how did you think the Lakers played in the first half compared to the second half? Dive in, man.
First half, like we seen Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma went off 23 points. Second half, we weren't really there as a team, like how you were there in the first half. And on top of that, no defense. If you play no defense, you're not going to win the game. Even though this was an all offensive game, if you play no defense, it's not going to be a good game. Like the outcome is not going to be in your favor. And like you're playing against the 76ers, who's a top team in the East. I'm not saying the Lakers aren't a top team in the West, but they got some players offensively that can pretty much score.
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that one. But the keys to the game, prior on my podcast, I said, if you let Joel Embiid barbecue chicken you like Shaq, it's going to be a long night. If you don't come engaged defensively, you're going to get blown out. And that's what happened. Second half was disgusting, disappointing. And if you expect to make the playoffs, you cannot play like that as a team. But we have to beat Atlanta, because if we don't, it's going to be ugly. Atlanta's one of the worst teams in the league, and if Lakers lose to them going into the All-Star break, it's going to have a bad taste in our mouth until then. But also, Wardell, let me ask you this, man. How do you think Alonzo is going to play when he comes back? How do you think the team's going to gel?
I think we'll be more energetic. Like, you see what happens when Alonzo's on the court compared to when he's off the court. Even though we have Rondo out there, you know, like it's best if we have our full team healthy. Once we have our full team healthy, like it's gonna be hard for any team to beat the Lakers. That's his point. Period. Even though, like, of course, Lakers, like we have to play defense. If we want to go anywhere in the NBA, you have to be able to play defense. Offensive games it's not gonna get you really anywhere. Like, of course, you know, you have your points, you have your stats, but at the end of the day, like, a win's a win. Doesn't matter how you win. Today, Philadelphia, you know, they beat us. They beat us at our own game. Like Jonathan said, Joel Embiid, that cat's hard to guard, especially when he's in pain. When he's in pain, he's like Shaq. He's just like Shaq, who can shoot. So I mean, that's just a threat. That's a threat.
I agree with you on that one, man. But also, I think what kind of got us slipping, giving Philly open threes and driving to the lane. They weren't engaged defensively. That's what happens when you play lazy in the second half. Also, I think Luke Walton should have played Kuzma more when he was feeling it. 23 points in the first half, took him out and messed up his momentum. He did that with Alonzo. But also, I want to get your guys' opinion about the trade deadline. So, Wardell, who do you think won the trade deadline and lost?
Before I answer that question, I want to comment on what you just said about that.
Mm-hmm.
When players are hot, let them keep being hot. If you take them out, you can't expect them to be back in that same rhythm. And tonight, Kuzma was going off 23 points in the first quarter. You took him out, and you know he came in the second quarter. I think he had like 4 points in the second quarter. He only had that much points because you took him out. Mm-hmm. If you keep him in, and the rhythm keeps going, how everything is going, it's gonna be a different outcome. And as you can see, once you took him out, what happened? Lakers they fell back. Once you take out a star who's hot, it's just not gonna go in your favor. And who won the trade deadline? Who lost the trade deadline? I gotta say Milwaukee Bucks. Nikola Mirotic, great fit with the Bucks system. There's other teams out there like Toronto Raptors with Marc Gasol, and you know, things of that nature. Tonight we seen Tobias Harris in action, things of that nature. But I believe the Bucks won the trade deadline. Who lost? I probably gotta say the Pelicans, but then again, the Pelicans wasn't really doing that good before. They're not really doing that good right now. And in order for Anthony Davis to stay on the Pelicans, they have to have another star. If they don't have another star, if the Pelicans doesn't have another star, Anthony Davis is going to leave. You gotta have somebody else there with Anthony Davis. Before it was DeMarcus Cousins. They were a great team. They had Rondo on their team at that time too. And DeMarcus Cousins went down. They went in and played the Warriors. They got swept by the Warriors. Even though the Pelicans have that offer sheet where Davis can get the maximum money for 5 years, like you still need somebody else there with him. Like if you're not, you're just wasting him. All that talent to nothing. Like everybody wants a shot at the NBA championship. If you don't get that, then what's the point of playing?
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that one. And I'm gonna give you my topics about who lost the NBA trade deadline. Milwaukee lost it, Milwaukee won the NBA trade deadline, and Pelicans lost because They lost because they didn't trade Anthony Davis. Excuse me, they didn't trade Anthony Davis because they could have got talent from him. Zubac, Kuzma, Ingram, 2 first-round picks, KCP, second-round pick, but he's going to end up going to Boston and then leaving the Lakers in 2020, man. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And Milwaukee won it because Mirotic could spread the floor when they trap Antetokounmpo, spread the floor. He can even dunk on you if he gets hot. But also, who is your most improved player in the NBA? So let me first off by saying I got Kyle Kuzma, man, because Kyle Kuzma is most improved in my eye because he has the Kobe Bryant mentality and he has the dog mentality like Russell Westbrook. He can drop 30 to 40 points. He dropped 39 tonight. My cousin said he's going to score 42. He was too shy. But Wardell, who do you got as most improved?
I agree with you with Kuzma, but I have one player on top of Kuzma, and he's been doing lights out. He's not on the Lakers. He's on another team. Paul George. He's been doing his stuff this season. This season, like we all knew he was a star before, but this season he's going on. He's going off.
Yeah, man. Paul George, most improved. And also, speaking of Paul George, I think he could be a legitimate shot at MVP, man. So, Wardell, who do you have as MVP, and who's your sleeper for MVP?
Greek Freak, MVP. No doubt about it. Greek Freak has to get the MVP. I think the runner-up would be Paul George. He's just been going off, but Greek Freak, he has a better team, and he's just hard to guard. Like you can guard Paul George, you can't really guard the Greek Freak. A sleeper, I would go to Stephen Curry. Even though he has a great team, he's still the leader of that team. You see who they are with him and without him. You got to go with Curry with the sleeper.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna throw in one more. I got James Harden, man. James Harden putting up Kobe Bryant numbers, but he's not the best shooting guard in the league. He is the best shooting guard, but he ain't better than Kobe or Jordan. So you can throw that shit out the window about the debate. But anyway, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on Laker Talk, Big Baby Jonathan. Go ahead and give your Instagram a shout out, man, and your Twitter.
Instagram at rightfullyjt. Twitter, I don't have a Twitter. You can add me on Snapchat at xlightskinboyjt. And one more time, happy birthday to you, bro.
Thanks, man. Until next time, Laker Nation. Peace out.